Hello, Footballer Nation, and welcome to Footballers Anonymous. My name is Carson, and I'm a cardsaholic.
I'm Alex, and I'm a Billsaholic.
I'm Ian, and oh my god, it's blocked! I'm a Bearsaholic.
I didn't even think you could say that after this week. I'm low-key proud of you.
I threw up a little bit.
He's improving.
To see more of Ian's trauma and the rest of us doing pretty good for ourselves, make sure to tune in to the rest of the episode. But first, let's roll that intro. Welcome, listeners, to Footballers Anonymous, coming at you after a crazy week 11. Lots of things happened this week, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. First off, Aaron Rodgers has now gotten basically his entire team staff fired. What is he now? The coach and the GM? He's freaking both. What's happening here? I'm so confused.
So, Ian said after you rolled to start, we should just not talk, just to see how long it took you to notice. So yeah, hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Footballers Anonymous. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is pretty much getting all his staff fired. Joe Douglas, the GM, is the newest one to hit the chopping board, and Woody Johnson, their owner, wanted him. He wanted Aaron Rodgers benched after week 4. The coaches fought against him to make that not happen. So I'm pretty sure, just a hunch, that it's actually all Woody's fault. He might not be a good owner.
Would make sense. It could be a little grudge thing.
Yeah, I don't think he's a good owner, guys.
Would he make sense?
All right.
Okay.
This is why we were silent in the beginning.
That kind of fell apart, just like the Cowboy Stadium.
Oh, literally.
Cowboy Stadium fell apart. This is the second time this has happened. They tried opening their roof for the first time in, what was it?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and a piece of the roof just fell immediately.
It almost hit someone.
No one was injured, but someone was almost hurt. If I was there, I would have purposely gotten hit by it and gotten that bag, but
true.
Yeah.
Man,
the Jerry money.
The Jerry, he's not gonna have that for much longer.
Clearly, he's not using it on anything. So
yeah,
he's blinded by the lights shining in that stadium.
Want to know something funny about the Cowboys? They have now led for exactly 2 minutes and 15 seconds, all against the Lions, at home in their last 6 games. And they have been down by 20-plus points at home in their last 6 games for 109 minutes and 2 seconds. Anyone else remember when they were, undefeated at home?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What happened? They've completely flipped the script.
It's not even just they just as a whole flipped the script. They suck.
They're just like, yeah, we did too good at home last year. Let's just get back to 500.
They're the only team, or the only American pro team without a home win in 2024.
That includes hockey. That includes MLS soccer. That includes football. That includes basketball. That includes baseball. The Raiders, Browns, and Giants and all them, and the Jaguars, they all have home wins in 2024.
Yeah.
Not the Cowboys.
Not the Cowboys.
Even Texas A&M has a win in AT&T Stadium, and so does Jake Paul. So,
and fun fact about the whole Jake Paul fight, during that fight, they put curtains down over that hole to prevent the sun from coming in. Even when the event happened at night, they put curtains down. But they can't do the same thing for their own team.
They're just memeing themselves at that point.
Yeah. And even farther, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon has 3 rushing touchdowns in AT&T Stadium this season, And the Cowboys as a team have one rushing touchdown in AT&T Stadium this season. Nice going, guys.
It's
You're
insane.
just cooking.
It's insane.
You know what's funny? They have less home rushing touchdowns than there are Dak out for the year announcements. He has been announced as out for the year like 2 or 3 times now because I guess that changed and changed back again. So
Here's what
Yeah,
I'm
they
he's out
thinking
for
with
the year.
that. Here's what I'm thinking with that. It's got to be like the mentality of the Cowboys where they have to say it's their season every year. It's the same thing. When they realize it's not their year, they have to say that several times.
Yeah, and they got to make sure all the media stations are all announcing it multiple times too. Like it's like we all forgot that he was announced out like 2 weeks ago. He's announced out again.
It's the
Yeah, yeah.
only non-negative attention they get.
Literally.
It's still negative.
Another news. Uh, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are leading in yards in the NFL, and Trey Hendrickson, also on the Bengals, is leading in sacks. And the Bengals are 4-7.
I feel like we talked about this to an extent last week, but it's like to the point where Joe Burrow is hitting like not like record all time numbers, but he's in like a very like prestigious group that has hit this like 3,000 passing yards in like 11 games or whatever. And all of those players have had like teams that are like 10-1, 11-0, 8-3. There's like a whole list, like 25 quarterbacks. None of them had a losing record, and none of them were close to a losing record, except for Burrow. Obviously, it's impressive in the wrong standard.
He, numbers wise, he is playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. He has the highest QBR in the NFL, and it's by like a whole, like, it's not even close. He's still 4-7, and it's not like it's even just him. Jamar Chase is amazing, but their defense is low key kind of selling.
And Jamar
It is.
Chase, he's not only first in yards, he's first in receptions, yards, and reception touchdowns. So, what more can you ask for, right?
You're right. I mean, they're doing everything on that side of the ball and still just finding ways to lose games. It's not much you can say about it. Taylor needs to be fired.
What? That's crazy.
Losing that Super Bowl really messed up that team.
Oh yeah.
It really did.
I mean, they
That
were good the season after, and then they lost to
although
the
to
Chiefs.
to be
And then,
fair, that losing or that Super Bowl messed up both of those teams.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
The Rams absolutely fell off after that Super Bowl.
didn't they have like a record? They had a record low season after first
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl champion. It was 6-11,
Yeah,
Yep.
I believe.
it's pretty bad.
Um, Another rookie quarterback made his debut this week, Michael Penix Jr. Is that all of the first round rookie quarterbacks making? Does that mean all of them have made their debuts?
Well, there's JJ
JJ
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
But
Yes,
that's
yes, thank you.
but that's just because he's injured. Everyone else knows.
Correct.
Yes, all
So
the other first round rookie quarterbacks have made their debuts.
Falcons got absolutely beat down. They put Penix.
Shout out to
I believe, but we'll talk about that later.
I believe.
Um, for just a little tidbit about my favorite team in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, never did I think I would hear this, but people are calling for Shanahan's head. In 2022 and 2023, the Niners went 11-1 in the division. And in 2024, they're currently 1-3. They have lost to every single team in the NFC West.
But they did beat the Seahawks.
They beat the Seahawks and then lost to the Seahawks.
Mhm. Yes, they did.
I don't
Two of
even know.
those games they lost at home.
They
Yeah.
they won without Christian McCaffrey, and then they got Christian McCaffrey and proceeded to lose.
They
That,
did beat him with they beat Tampa with him, but like also Tampa's like Tampa.
So nothing really crazy coming from him, which you kind of expected because of he's coming off of a pretty serious injury. and he's still getting the job done.
On another note, I want to talk about my man that clogged the toilet, Mr. Rizzy Rizlord, Darren Rizzy. He is undefeated as a coach. He's 2-0. Last week he clogged the toilet. This week he actually beat the Browns, and it's just kind of he's gonna keep doing his thing, and we'll see when he loses.
Putting part of that out of context sounds hilarious in my head. But the Saints, amazing performance against the Browns. They beat the second quarter merchant allegations.
They
They
did.
only had
Yes, they
7 points
did.
in the second quarter and 21 in the fourth. But Taysom Hill, wow.
Oh,
248 all-purpose yards. He's the first NFL player in history with 100 plus rushing yards, 50 plus receptions, 10 plus passing yards, and 3 plus rushing touchdowns. I think this is wrong. I think it's supposed to say reception yards because this is in a game, I believe.
yes.
So
Maybe, I don't know.
our notes were wrong, but still, point still stands. Amazing performance. I started him in one of my fantasy leagues. 42 points.
You know what I did? 2 weeks ago, I traded him to Charlie, and I played Charlie this week. And he started Taysom Hill, and I got freaking owned. It was embarrassing. I am like 9th in that league now. Because I've got absolutely cooked.
He had the same amount of all-purpose yards as Derek Carr did passing yards, like the exact same. Both of them had 248. Derek Carr only has 8 more yards than him, and that's just one random scramble. Like
What a guy. What a guy.
What?
that
a
scramble
guy.
really mattered.
Swiss Army knife right there.
It probably actually did matter, and I'm like hating on it, even though I didn't watch
Eh.
the game. But
Nah, they won by a mile.
yeah, I was I tuned in a tiny bit, but not really. I mean, I was kind of bouncing between a lot of the games, but like that one was not really on my radar.
Everyone's favorite part of the NFL season has started being talked about, the Pro Bowl games. Everyone loves the Pro Bowl games. Man, I miss the old Pro Bowls. Those were hype. But
I will say,
Me too.
and
I
this
always
is
remember that Sean Taylor hit in the Pro Bowl in 2006.
oh yeah,
oh,
Always remember that.
OBJ dancing too was a good.
Oh,
I mean, you
man,
can't.
it was blue.
Hey, don't. Now we have
Blue
Mac
jeans
Jones
on
doing the
and
gritty, so
that's
let's not forget that.
terrible, but
He didn't
might
even
never
get the
see him in a Pro
touchdown.
Bowl again. Um,
But yeah,
Yeah, so the Mannings are
but the
going to be
Bills
coaching
game,
that again.
yeah, I mean, it was pretty
Ooh.
good. It was pretty fun last year when they coached it. At least, like they gave a little bit extra to the Pro Bowl, which is good because the Mannings are iconic. That's always a nice thing to see. The Pro Bowl's still garbage, but it's fun watching the Mannings coach.
I'm not going to
when
lie.
Travis Kelsey retires, I want them to coach. Travis and
That
Jason.
would be awesome.
Would be awesome.
I could even see
Just
like even you know what else would be fun? Just like a Manning brothers versus Kelsey brothers would also go hard.
That too. Break
That's
into
Or
the
like a
barber, the
combination
barber
of the
twins.
two, like Jason and like the younger two versus the older two. Both like I want to see them get involved. That would definitely be fun.
not to be confused with like an actual fight versus. We're not doing what Jake
That
Paul
would
did
also
and
be awesome.
fighting 50-year-old athletes.
But I think
But
Jason would probably win.
I think so. I think
Just a
Jason would
hunch.
probably beat Mannings.
I mean,
Just
Peyton
probably.
Manning just has a huge target.
True, that
So,
forehead.
yeah. All right, a quick life update, chat. Alex is still single. Ian is as well. So is Ethan. Yes, you.
We know
Ethan, you.
You know who you are.
you know
We
who you
know
are,
Ethan.
Ethan.
You know
If you're
your
hearing
total.
this,
Ethan. Ethan, lock in, bro. Lock in.
Pull.
Carson is not.
Your coaches aren't happy with you.
And then Carson is happily married and
Um,
has 7
what?
kids.
What? Wait.
He's just Philip Rivers 2.0.
Okay, cool.
So when are you gonna go play quarterback, Carson?
When When am I gonna go play quarterback?
Yeah.
When am
You have the great football knowledge of Footballers Anonymous. You just need to get on the field.
True.
Like
Okay, but I also don't have the wife and kids, so it doesn't matter.
I think you could be the second best quarterback ever.
Of
with
course.
10 plus kids.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, with second best with 10 plus kids, or just the second best?
Second best with 10 plus kids.
Okay, so Philip Rivers is first, unless Trubisky has 10 plus kids, but I don't think
He is one.
he's one.
He could
Okay.
adopt us. He just throwing it out there.
Chat.
Hey, what's up? Yes, Trubisky, adopt me. All right, thanks.
You know,
Crazy.
I know Trubisky, or we want Trubisky to adopt us, but we want the mascots to be adopted by Footballers Anonymous.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Yes, here is your quick reminder that we at Footballers Anonymous still want a mascot on the podcast. We need your help to do that. We need you to download our podcast, like our videos, leave reviews anywhere you listen to podcasts or everywhere you listen to podcasts. If you want to be a little extra, go ahead and DM your mascots, let them know who we are and why you want to see them here so they can earn the best mascot award. We love all of the engagement, and
When
especially
you
for those mascots.
when you win the best mascot award, you could be cool like me.
Don't you wish your mascot was cool like Alex? Don't you wish your mascot was lit like Alex?
Oh yeah.
That was tough. That was tough.
All right.
Of course it was. It's me.
Anyway, Will Levis meme of the week. All right. He had the longest. It's the longest play in the NFL this season. So
98 yards.
I think that's worthy. I think that's worthy of the Will Levis meme of the week right there. 98-yard play from Will Levis.
98-yard touchdown.
So shout out Will Levis.
Was most of it yards after catch? Yes.
We don't talk about that.
But
it's because he motivated his team to get the remaining yardage.
Exactly.
So Mayo quarterback be dreamy.
Yeah, so in other news, we have our next segment, which everyone seems to love except for this week. We asked you to ask us questions, and we answered them. Only issue is, this week we got 2 total questions. The first of which being from our dog, Peyton. And Peyton asks, thoughts on the Steelers? We will
Stick
get
around
to
and
that
find out.
in our power ranking segment.
To clarify, we don't mean an actual dog.
Correct. We do not mean an actual dog. And our other question is very interesting. It asks, please do an episode or segment for people who are new to football. Now, we've actually personally reached out and asked what the best way to do this would be, because football is a very complicated sport, and there's a lot of explaining to do there. But we want, if that's what you want, that's what we want to give you. So we're looking at possibly starting a sort of Reels series that we'll start putting out, or YouTube Shorts or whatever. We could do just a dedicated episode explaining the basics of football. But obviously you let us know, and you listeners also, if you're also new to football, let us know in the comments or give us a DM. Just let us know what you think would be helpful, because we want to help you guys. And the best way to learn is obviously just to stick around here and listen to Footballers Anonymous. Just by doing that, your football knowledge will already
I think this is also a good time to shout that if you guys have any suggestions for any special episodes or different, you know what I mean, like different content, not different content, but like you know what I mean, like special
Different segments,
episodes,
different special things.
segments. Yeah,
Like our mid-season predictions.
that could also be included in the segment where we asked you to ask us questions and we answered them.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind, a lot of the stuff you guys suggest could happen during the off season. Our off season is very open right now, so
we do have plans, but
we do have lots of plans, but
lots of plans.
We also have lots of free space. If you guys have any suggestions, we'll make stuff for you.
It's like a bingo board. We have some of the spots filled, but there's always some free space.
Exactly.
Facts.
That was deep. That was deep. So yeah,
Deep thoughts.
reach out. Let us know.
And for our final segment of today's episode, we have the famous, heavily regarded best reward in football, the Footballers Anonymous stat line of the week.
Whoa! Not the best.
Well,
reward.
okay.
That's
Don't forget the
award.
Ultra Baddie Award. But
That's also.
Would you not consider it the winner of the stat line in Ultra Baddie, considering this week you should, because this week it's Kadarius Toney. That man's still in the NFL.
I didn't. Know
what?
that.
He's a Cleveland Brown. So
Go figure.
shout out them. This week he had an amazing 1 carry for -7 yards and 0 targets. He's out there running back and he still can't play the game.
I just need to establish when Ian originally was sending us the games, or not the games of the week, that's later, the stat line of the week. I did not know Kadarius Toney was a Brown, but I honestly thought he was joking. Like, I thought Ian was just trying to make up the most outlandish stat line just to be funny. But this is real.
How he got a job after his stint with the Chiefs, I'm not sure, but
I mean,
I guess it is Cleveland, so
hey, they're making it work by not throwing him the ball.
true.
True.
I wouldn't call -7 yards making it work, but
Well, no, but at least his hands weren't an issue in that situation.
it's true.
Also
He
true.
didn't fumble.
He did not fumble.
Now, speaking of fumbling, we got to talk about all the baddies I've fumbled this week. Not really. That's not what we're actually talking about. But we are going to talk about some baddies.
We got some baddies. So y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Footballers Anonymous Power Rankings. For those of you who don't know, we here at Footballers Anonymous every week make power rankings. How these work, all right? Each one of the three of us makes our individual power rankings, and we then take those numbers that we've assigned to each team, average them together to get a group power rankings that is built by all three of us. Now, occasionally, there are ties, and two teams can get the same number because obviously we're not perfect and we disagree. So, if this team is not something that we talk about in our top 12 or bottom 3, we go ahead and discuss it outside of the podcast. This week we had 2 ties for 18 and 19. We had the Buccaneers and Colts. We voted on the Buccaneers. And for 20 and 21, we voted on the Dolphins. And we have 2 ties in our top 12 this week that we will be discussing. But first, we have to talk about our bottom 3 teams, which are known as the baddies, and our bottom team, the elusive, coveted, ultra baddie.
Best award there is.
So, with our first spot coming in with the third place baddie at 30 in the power rankings, we have the New York Giants, who lost to the bye week.
They did lose the bye week, but
They
honestly, I think they got a W. They're starting Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets over there.
Hey, Tommy DeVito. That was a really
Paying
bad
Daniel-
accent. Please don't cancel
Paying
me.
Daniel Jones $40 million to sit on the bench.
Hey, it's not as bad as the Deshaun Watson contract.
No, but it is close.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It is pretty bad, just like how they're the only team not marked as in the hunt anymore.
They are not marked in the hunt for playoffs. The NFL is just...
They're not eliminated.
They're not eliminated.
They're not in the hunt.
They're just not in the hunt.
They're just waiting
just
to be
there.
eliminated. The NFL has literally given up on them before they were eliminated. That is,
I don't know if that's ever
No.
happened before.
I
I
don't think so.
can't think of a time. I mean, Yeah, no, I can't think of a time where they've just given up on it. They're not marked as in the hunt. They're just there. They're not eliminated. They're not because the next level above eliminated should be in the hunt for the playoffs,
But
and then on the bubble, and then in the playoffs. But they're just not.
they're the new given up tier.
They're in purgatory. They're in playoff purgatory.
Yep.
It's like in Toy Story when Andy's like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Is that the right movie? I don't even know.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I
Just
think
making
so.
sure. Okay, my brain kind of farted for a second there.
No,
He's
yeah,
like,
Can't
you're
remember.
right.
I'm pretty sure it's the second.
All right, so coming
Yeah,
in
anyway,
with our second Batty Award at 31 in the power rankings, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars.
How is Doug Peterson not fired yet?
52-6.
That is all I have to say about this team. That's
Fun
it.
fact: I want to shout out one of my old coworkers who runs his own podcast predicted the score before the game. So shout out.
Really?
He predicted 52-6. So shout out him.
That's crazy.
That's an insane shout.
That's a wild
Re-
prediction too. I mean, I know it's
Wild,
the
but
I know it's the
on the
Jags,
dot.
but like still.
Yeah,
on
you
the
wouldn't
dot.
think they beat them more than they beat the Titans, but we were wrong.
And that's why they're a baddie. But they still weren't as bad as this next team. The coveted Ultra Baddie Award this week goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. Hey, credit
Losing
where
to the
credit's due. Wait. Okay, so in our notes, Alex wrote down that the Raiders lost to the bye week, but they played the Dolphins this week.
They did. They lost 34-16.
You know what's funny? Y'all don't actually understand my foreshadowing. They've already lost to. Oh wait, they lost the bye week 2 weeks ago. Never mind.
So this is not foreshadowing, this is the
It's
opposite.
not even foreshadowing.
Be
Yeah,
foreshadowing? No, that's still not
The
right.
the reason they lost to the bye week is because they're so bad that I forgot they played.
That bad.
Mention that. You should say that. You should say that.
There we go.
Okay.
That-
Okay.
The point is
Yeah.
that this team just sucks. And they did put up a fight against the Dolphins for like a little bit. For a little bit.
They did.
It was a fight. So there's that. But they
Yeah,
still
but
sucked
at
in
the
the end.
same time, it was about as much of a fight as the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, where it's like we were just waiting for. It was like the opposite actually. We were waiting for the Dolphins to do something. The Dolphins actually did something. Mike Tyson didn't because that fight was scripted. The Dolphins Raiders game was not.
I will say, Brock Bowers, you are a bright spot on that team. You're a bright
Yes.
spot. Against the Dolphins, he set a record, an NFL record, for most receptions in a game by a rookie tight end. He had 13 catches on 16 targets for 126 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's a rookie record right there. So congratulations, Brock Bowers. You are balling. So sorry that you're in Vegas.
We
Oh
do
my
have
God.
to.
Wait, sorry. We're going to the top 12, but it was blocked. We're being blocked. We're being blocked.
Why are we being blocked? It seems like it's the team ranked
That
at
doesn't seem very legal. That
at
doesn't seem very
22.
legal.
What?
Like,
What?
honestly, it doesn't
Why are we
really-
talking about a
doesn't really
team ranked 22?
doesn't
Normally-
seem very
Normally we
legal.
catch that. Like, see, normally we catch that really long pass from the baddies to the top 12, like the Jail Mary, but this time it was blocked. So can you tell us why, Ian?
What?
Oh my god,
Alex just killed our bit, guys. Ian,
Oh
why
my
don't you
God.
talk about the Bears for a little bit?
Jesus Christ. I hate Green Bay, okay? I hate Green Bay. We won that game. We lost that game, but we won that game. Thomas Brown, you have saved our season. I have a lot of faith in you after our first week. You have energy, which I love. Offensive line, you still suck. You still suck. Williams was sacked 3 times, two of those being in our final drive, in the game-winning drive. Yeah, Williams, you played amazing. I do just want to say, Williams on 3rd and 4th down against the Packers had a 93.4 PFF grade, which was 3rd this week. He was 10 for 12, 112 passing yards, 8 passing first downs, and he had 4 rushes for 40 yards for 4 rushing first downs. In the final drive of the game, he played perfectly 3 for 3, sacked twice. He rushed for a 4th down that was called back, and then he still converted. Overall, the team honestly looked really good. Jordan Love, you're still overrated. Do want to note, Alex just brought this to my attention. There was a tweet that floated around. A Bears fan responded to the Broncos blocked kick last week and said, "If this happens to the Packers, you will never hear from me again." It happened. So goodbye to you. That's about it. I have a lot more faith in the Bears now. So
They are higher on our power rankings, I assume.
we'll
than
say
last.
one more thing. One more
I
thing.
think so.
There was a point in the game where we scored a touchdown and we elected to go for 2 and we failed to convert and we lost by 1 point. So that's it.
Well,
It's blocked.
it's blocked. Now we're going to get into our top 12 teams in the NFL right now. Coming in at number 12, we have the LA Chargers. They almost chargered it, but they didn't.
Um, Anakin Skywalker defeated Kevin McAllister in a duel. Anakin was like, "I hate them," and he went to the Jedi Temple and killed all the younglings, and Kevin McAllister was among them.
That did not.
Context. For
Okay, if you don't understand what Alex is talking about, go and look at the Chargers Instagram page and find Kevin McAllister, and it'll make more sense.
Yes.
It was
But
very
yes,
funny though.
they almost choked that game, and I think they would have absolutely choked that game had they had Brandon Staley as a coach still, but they do not. They have Jim
True.
Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh is about to square up against John Harbaugh. Not like how Jake Paul and Mike Tyson squared up, but they're about to have a coach off next Monday night. So that's going to be a very interesting game for sure. And if the Chargers win that game, I expect them to skyrocket on the power rankings.
You could call it the Harble.
The horrible, not to be confused with
That's actually really
horrible.
well, no, we already had the
Maybe.
Bowl if you wanna talk about the Super Bowl, but
Oh, that's true. But this is like the horrible 2.
it's like the revived, like it's like one of
Harble.
those things where it's like Fortnite going to their OG seasons again. This is like what's happening. They're just like,
Is it
"Yeah, we're bringing this back."
the Harble
Real.
to Electric Boogaloo?
And it works because they're the Chargers.
So I guess the Ravens are the Boogaloo.
I guess. All right, coming in at number 11, we have also making, well, I think the Chargers had their first appearance. Yeah, so with their
Yeah.
first appearance in the top 12, we have the Denver Broncos. I believe. Did anyone else hear that song that Brandon Perna made? It was
Bo, your
fire.
future too bright. I love it.
We
It's
were
blocked. It's blocked. Sorry, that's the wrong team.
Wow.
So
It's not though. They got blocked last week anyway.
yeah, but it's the wrong episode. For the Broncos. But I do want to talk about how much we believe here. I've been a believer for a very little bit early, but very long while because I've been overhyping the Broncos. But I'm happy. I'm very happy they killed the Falcons and made their way here finally.
okay. I'm very sad
Bo
about
next.
Marco though.
Yeah, I will say
Don't want to
that
see
was
that happen. But
Bo. He had 28 passes. Sorry, 28 completions on 33 attempts. He had 307 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is absolutely insane for a rookie. He's leading the rookies in touchdowns with 14. And they absolutely dismantled Atlanta doing that. He's second in rookie yards with 2,275, which is like under 100 less than Jaden Daniels. He's playing very well, and I wouldn't sleep on him if he continues progressing this way. It's going to be a tight race for Rookie of the Year, but do not sleep on Mr. Bo Nix.
Who is
Short
he
of
even throwing to? Cortland
Cortland
Sutton and
Sutton.
who else?
Fine. One more thing I wanted to note on the Broncos. Their linebacker Nick Bonito has a career high 9 sacks in 2024, which is tied for the second most in the league. Um, I yeah, it's very impressive. Their defense is incredible, and the offense is playing well with Bo Nix. That's why they're here.
Coming in at number 10, we have it's blocked. The Green Bay Packers.
I'm about to disconnect. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
It's written in our notes, Ian.
I
It
don't
is
care.
written
I don't
in
care.
our notes.
Yeah,
I didn't
because you
put it
guys wrote
there.
it.
I'm just
You
reading
guys
it.
wrote it. Because you guys. Stop it. Jordan Love is single.
He is. He's
Just
single.
like us. And Ethan,
You know who you are.
Ethan,
you
dude,
know who
lock
you are.
in. Jordan
You're
Love.
letting
Listen, I will only speak negatively about the Packers, so I'm going to let the other two talk about it. But I just do want to point Jordan Love still leads the league in interceptions, and he has missed 2 games this year. And he threw a bad one against the Bears, and he did. Caleb Williams outplayed Jordan Love, so I'm gonna let you guys take it away now.
Look, here's all I'm going to say. The only reason the Packers are still in the top 12 is because they got extremely lucky with the end of that game. And while it was hard for me to initially keep them up here, also because I hate the Packers, um, that's also kind of the reason the Chiefs are still even in the top 12 because they get lucky all the time. Even though this was an extreme case of it, I do believe Jordan Love is a fraud, but they are winning games. So while they were lowered because this was an ugly game for their offense, they're still in our top 12 for now, but I'm definitely curious to see this offense keep moving forward because this was an ugly game against the Bears.
what is good about Jordan Love? He has more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes and is tied in interceptions with Mahomes. We'll talk about him later. He has been playing a little bit underwhelming. Their production in general on offense is good, but he's also been extremely turnover happy, as we've said. And I felt like me being the only person here that doesn't despise the Packers, I also moved them down because I didn't think their win against the Bears was necessarily the most impressive, and they definitely have issues.
Or
They're
the
a good
most
team, of
legal.
course. Yes. Sorry, what?
Or the most legal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, there's worse. It's the refs, They do what they do.
Yeah. Coming in at number 9, we have the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not going to lie, they're mostly here because I didn't put the Vikings in the top 12. I don't believe in Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I put them 6. So,
I put
I
them at
mean,
13. I had them higher than I did last week, but still low.
I
Sam
mean, this
Darnold
seems
has more. Sam Darnold has more touchdowns than Jordan Love and Patrick Mahomes and less interceptions than both of them.
one of the big reasons why the Vikings are being so productive is because of Justin Jefferson, who is seriously getting up there in all-time conversations. For example, he has the most receiving yards by a player in his first 5 seasons in NFL history. And to keep in mind, he did not play half of last season.
Yeah,
So,
so I know people will sometimes like make the argument with like very recent record breaking that like they have an extra game. He didn't play half of last season, so honestly, that completely invalidates that and further like, and he's also only halfway through this season too. So
Yep.
It's just a testament to how good he is.
So realistically, it was within 4 seasons that he broke the record.
Yep. For 5 seasons. Like, he's a whole season ahead.
Mhm.
Obviously, other players have injuries too, but like you got to take that. That's insanely impressive.
I still don't have much to say. Justin Jefferson is incredible, but the Vikings have been getting scary wins against very bad teams, and especially after that loss to the Rams, Sam Darnold, I feel like, is just reverting back to his old self, and I don't believe in him at all. Coming in at number 8, we have the Arizona Cardinals, who had a pretty good bye week because 49ers lost, which is great for them. Who's their biggest competition for the division? I don't think literally anyone knows. It
All of
switches
them.
every week. All of them. They're all bad and they're all good. Cardinals are kings of the dumpster fire right now. Only things I really have to say about the Cardinals is that one, Kyler Murray had some pizza in New York this week. He seemed to like it. He definitely enjoyed the bye. Two, Kyler Murray, according to the NFL Instagram, is number 4 for MVP favorites this year. And three, I got into an argument with some people on Instagram this week, and do you know what they said? They told me that the refs glaze Marvin Harrison Jr. and that he is their new golden boy. I'm sorry. The refs have never and will never glaze any of the Cardinals. That is just how the NFL works. The Cardinals don't bring them money. Their fan base is much smaller. They're not going to glaze the Cardinals even if they win a Super Bowl. It's not going to be like it would be if like the Bills or the Chiefs won a Super Bowl. It's just not. That's just how it works. They're just not a team that gets glazed. Even if you look at the media now, they're putting the Cardinals in their top spots in the power rankings. Is anyone talking about them? No. Not unless you like follow a Cardinals Instagram page. No, no one's really talking about them. That's all I really have
Took
to say.
them a long while to move them up to. There's definitely some Cardinals haters out there.
Oh, there are. And there are still a lot of people who don't believe that they belong up there at all. We'll just have to keep proving them wrong. But anyways, coming in at number 7, we have the Washington Commanders. How's Cliff Kingsbury doing for you?
It's caught in the back of the end zone.
Dude, I'm so serious.
All right, sorry, that's the last one.
I don't believe you.
We
The
literally.
Commanders.
What else are we supposed to talk about with them?
There's not
Um,
much to talk about
They
this
just
week.
played the Eagles. They just played the Eagles. Jaden Daniels crumbled under the pressure of the Eagles defense. They could not get things going. Eckler had a decent game. Terry McLaurin completely shut down. There's so many things you could be talking about and not bringing something up from 4 weeks ago.
Bobby Wagner had 4 sacks.
There you go.
It's caught in. No, I'm kidding.
It's fine.
So,
Yeah, by DeAndre Hopkins.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
4 years ago,
Oh,
guys.
bring that
So
back.
good.
Anyways,
Remember the time the Bills played the Cardinals?
yeah, it was actually a surprisingly close game. No one talks
It
about
was.
that.
It was a good game.
I wasn't even upset with that. But anyways, not much to say about the Commanders. For time's sake, I'm going to move on. But they're just kind of collapsing. Granted, they've been playing good teams, but still, not liking what I'm seeing there. Coming in at number 5 and 6, we have our first tie in the top 12, and oh, it's so ugly. I genuinely don't want to talk about it. But we have the Ravens and the Chiefs. Oh,
What in the world is happening?
oh.
How did this happen?
And it's out of bounds by a toe. Sorry, I just thought we were bringing stuff up from weeks ago. So, thought I'd bring that up, Ravens fans. Look, Patrick Mahomes was absolutely exposed by Bills Mafia, finally. And the Ravens also did not play very well against the Steelers.
The Ravens and here, I'll talk about both of them for just a quick second. I'm gonna highlight both those points. Patrick Mahomes has not played great all year. He threw an interception on the first drive. That was pretty bad. And a couple more things just with the Chiefs. Besides Butker being injured, they kicked fine still. But first off, Tony, you know who I'm talking about. Tony Romo. Why was it necessary to be like, no one can come back from this, right, Jim? Down 2 scores with like a minute and a half left.
It's the championship DNA,
I
obviously.
hate that. You know, it's actually really funny because Josh Allen, after he scored that touchdown, was looking like that Mahomes was about to come back. That man is scarred, and I don't blame him because it's not his fault that 13 seconds happened or last year happened. But yeah. Um, an- a good thing about the Chiefs, and this is a testament to their defense, they hadn't allowed 30 plus points in a game since the Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl 2 years ago.
That's
They did allow
crazy.
30 points in this game, but it was only 30. It was at like the last second. That defense that's an insane defensive stat.
That's a
Also,
testament to Andy Reid, who there's two of now, according to Jake from State Farm. He took a picture with two Andy Reids.
Justin Tucker continues to miss field goals. He missed 2 in this game, which
I
one of
dropped
them
him in
made
my
the field
fantasy
goal.
league. I dropped
Yeah,
Justin Tucker
that's crazy.
for
One of
Chad
them.
Ryland.
I just want to. I had a little bit of thinking, and the Ravens have a very interesting situation in terms of the games they've lost. So just follow with me for a second. If you combine the Browns and Raiders wins, half of those wins are against Baltimore, which is the same amount as the amount of games the Steelers have won without scoring touchdowns, which is another game the Ravens have lost this year. So keeping these embarrassing Ravens losses in mind, I'm picking Kansas City, but I really don't care who gets ahead. I don't care.
I think I'm
Well, like I
also
don't.
picking Kansas City here.
For me, it's a matchup of inches, or you could say a toe. At the end of the day, Baltimore did lose to Kansas City beginning of the season. I do think Baltimore's the better team, but for the sake of that, I'll put the Chiefs above Baltimore.
Okay,
Cool.
coming in at number 4, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Because
Good,
Saquon is a beast.
good little note here, considering we just got done talking about the Ravens too. Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley are Henry's first in rushing yards, Barkley's second in rushing yards. Josh Jacobs is third, and he is 300 yards behind both of them.
That's
So
insane.
Henry and Saquon have been playing out of their minds this year.
That's crazy. And not only that, but Philadelphia is now home to the new Queen of Christmas because Jason Kelsey's new Christmas song has passed Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You for most played Christmas song. Like, what? That is awesome. Jason Kelsey, the new Queen of Christmas. Yes, please. It's actually a really good song. I recommend listening to it. But yeah, the Eagles are
Eagles,
just a powerhouse team.
yeah,
And
they're just, and also their defense. Defense is stepping up. They got the Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. You guys are two peas in the pod.
two peas in a
That's all I got.
pod? You mean like another tie? Because that's what we have
Oh,
for the 2 and 3
oh,
spots.
That was a
okay,
stretch, buddy, but
okay,
I'll allow it.
okay. No, I don't even.
We've got, spoiler alert, it's the same thing as last week. The Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, I'm just gonna drop this now. I did a little searching through some NFL media today. I have images of this. I'm not gonna obviously we're not gonna be able to show them on the pod. I have in my phone saved 30 power rankings, 30 different power rankings. 28 of them had the Bills top 2, and I believe 29 of them had us above the Steelers, which is The only reason we are tied is because someone put us 5.
Yes, but you also put yourself
You put
1.
them 1.
Well,
So,
I put them 1 because I wanted them to be 2, and
mhm.
you know. Also, I did get a 1 on here too.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, it's probably Pete Prisco.
No, it's actually not. Pete Prisco had us 2, which is very surprising.
See, that's why
He
I don't have you
actually
2.
right thing. No, he had the Steelers 4.
That's insane. That is
It's not,
Did he
insane.
have the Chiefs at
that's not
3? He
insane.
had the Chiefs at 3, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay,
Pete
look, here's all
Prisco.
I'm going to
Chiefs
say.
Well,
3.
our,
The
our rankings
Chiefs
are
3
always
is
better than
a
yours
common. Chiefs 3 is a funnily common
because
thing.
people only see records.
So,
No, I know,
the
but
I'm just
But
going
to
to say
the point of this tie,
this is now the second game that the Steelers have won without scoring a touchdown. And or credit to the, I guess not to the Bills, but something against the Steelers. This was definitely Russell Wilson's worst game as a starter. But they still won. Their defense went crazy against Lamar and the Ravens. Absolutely insane. Barely let them score any points. And Chris Boswell now has three games with 6+ made field goals, which is the most in NFL history, which obviously doesn't really help their power rankings very much, but that's just like a cool little stat. And it's a lot better than Tyler Bass. So,
okay, well, that's a kicker. Also,
hey,
Josh Allen
kickers are
is
important,
still playing
as the
substantially better
Bears
than
learned
Russell
this week.
Wilson. Which,
really?
by the way, Josh Allen is number NFL, and so number 1 in MVP odds.
It's even Santos' fault.
I'm just messing with Ian.
Whatever. Go ahead,
Huh?
Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, while you
I
were
was saying
talking, I
Josh
made a comment about kickers mattering to the Bears.
Allen. Oh, something else I wanted to highlight. Matt Milana's returning soon, which is another big piece to our defense. That has already been performing extremely well. They've only had 1 bad game this year, and that was an overall team bad game where we had a lot of injuries against the Ravens. And this also segues a little bit into my comment of the week because if y'all notice, I didn't talk about comment of the week earlier. It's from Colin Ferg 11. He said Cooper is trash. Amari Cooper had 2 insane deep ball plays that really made this game like even though it was close a lot of the way, we were always it felt like unless we did not score again, which I knew we would, it felt like we were just like steps ahead of the Chiefs, which is impressive because that didn't really happen before. Like they were always like in the game, but like it's not like they couldn't do much offensively, but yeah.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do here.
Do you
Purely,
think the
purely,
Steelers
purely, purely because I saw that video with Josh Allen and that little kid and how awesome he was and how great of a person he is, I will put the Bills at number 2.
cool.
I'm willing to do that. Also, because this just was a bad game for the Steelers. I can't lie. I
Yeah.
do believe that they're probably the better team, but the Bills just played better this week.
Me personally, it's not going to matter now because obviously Alex is going to put the Bills too. But I'm putting the Steelers above the Bills because 2 key reasons.
You also put the
One,
Bills.
I think the Steelers are a better team. I would have more faith in the Steelers right now than I do in the Bills. Not because the Bills are playing bad, just because the Steelers are playing better.
I'm not gonna talk about the line much.
Go.
And 2, the Steelers' defense is much, much better than the Buffalo's defense to this point. And
Yes.
I will say one key reason why I believe that the Bills allowed the Ravens to put up 35. The Steelers held the Ravens to half that.
Coming in at number 1, with no surprise, we have the Detroit Lions. Not much to say about them. Dropped 50 points. Their second 52-point game this year. Because why not? And Aiden Hutchinson is already walking in water. But he's already walking even with a broken tibia. and fibula. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to say about the Lions, but they're just a different team.
I mean, it's good to see Aiden Hutchinson up and moving. Good, glad to see that he's recovering well. The biggest thing I wanted to know, just for the Lions as a team, their running game. I say this every week. Their running game continues to be dominant, and even this week, both their running and passing games were super dominant. But David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs is probably the best. Well, not probably. They are the best backfield duo this year, and it could even stretch into past years, to be honest. But that's about it.
Alec turns into the Lions logo.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
All right, so those are our top 12. Going through all of the power rankings, we have at 32 the Raiders, 31 the Jaguars, 30 the Giants, 29 the Browns, 28 the Cowboys, 27 the Titans, 26 the Jets, 25 the Panthers, 24 the Saints, 23 the Patriots, 22 the Bears, 21 the Rams, 20 the Dolphins, 19 the Colts, 18 the Bucks, 17 the Bengals, 16 the 49ers, 15 the Falcons, 14 the Seahawks, 13 the Texans, 12 the Chargers, 11 the Broncos, 10 the Packers, 9 the Vikings, 8 the Cardinals, 7 the Commanders, 6 the Ravens, 5 the Chiefs, 4 the Eagles, 3 the Steelers, 2 the Bills, and 1 the Lions. Just a reminder that these are our power rankings, which automatically makes them better than Pete Prisco's. But now we get to talk about our games of the week, where we go into 3 games that we think you should watch this week, probably as a more casual fan. Starting off, we have a matchup between my 2 favoriteest teams in the league, the 49ers and the Packers. Okay? Both of these teams are falling off a little bit. I believe that both of these quarterbacks are frauds. One of them is just bad, like Jordan Love, and the other I've had a whole debate about him being a more system quarterback. But this is an important game for both these teams. The Niners, especially in a super tight division, they need every win they can get, and this is a real team and a chance for them to prove themselves. So this will be a good one.
Next up, we have Philly going into SoFi Stadium take on the Rams. Both teams have been playing pretty decent football lately. Saquon, a beast. Kyron Williams, a beast. DeJean and Blankenship will be fun to watch against Cup and Nakua. So I think it's gonna be overall a good game to watch.
Our last game of the week is a very interesting one. It's gonna be the Patriots at the Dolphins. This is not neither of these teams we've probably seen at all in these games of the week, but we think that this is gonna be a really good game between Drake May and the Patriots, who had been playing very good. I shouldn't say very good, but very competitive, grit. Like, we're not giving up till the end type football, and they've won a couple of games here and there. And then the Dolphins, who have been a little bit on a tear with Tua. Competition is still questionable, but like put up, they've been putting up they've been putting up some wins. Almost beat the Cardinals, almost beat the Bills, and then they have 2 wins against the Rams and Raiders. So they're on a tear. So it's gonna be a very interesting game.
Yeah. So those are our games of the week, and that's going to bring us to the end of this week's episode. Friendly reminder to follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Listen to us wherever you can listen to podcasts. Totally leave a review. Leave a comment. We'll be sure to highlight you in comment of the week if your comment is just that good. Leave your questions, whether that be in the comments or in our designated posts where we ask for questions.
Question: is it blocked?
It was. Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys in our next episode. And with that, Footballer Nation, let's ride.